ज्योति स्टेनो टाइपिंग कॉलेज में आप सभी का स्वागत है बच्चों। ये आरपीसी क्लास नंबर 87 है। इसमें हम एडवांस फ्रेजियोग्राफी की लास्ट की डिक्टेशन करने जा रहे हैं 178 से लेकर के 183 तक। तो डिक्टेशन स्टार्ट आफ्टर 5 सेकेंड। At the present time, great attention is paid to the exploration of the north and south poles of the earth by explorers of all nations. Some of the names made famous in connection with polar exploration are Nansen, a Norwegian doctor who sailed in the frame and succeeded in getting very near to the North Pole, Lieutenant Peary, a daring American who was the first to reach the North Pole. Amundsen accompanied Nansen in the frame and who was the first to discover the South Pole, and Scott, who unfortunately lost his life while returning after having reached the South Pole. Among them, they have added much to geographical knowledge, and in a great measure, investigators at the present day know as much about these in point of fact as is likely to prove of scientific value. But sooner or later, sentiment rather than science will be gratified by the discovery and publication all over the world of every secret of these untrodden regions. Ships of immense proportions are nowadays found in all parts of the world, and docks have to be made deeper and deeper in order to accommodate the huge vessels which are constructed to carry more and more and to travel faster and faster as time advances. Distance between us and foreign parts is becoming less and less, and north and south and east and west are being brought nearer and nearer, so that the desire long since expressed has almost been accomplished, and time and space have been practically annihilated by the progress of science and the ingenuity of man. Owing to the peculiar circumstances of the case, such a course as you suggest is out of the question, and you will have to follow the procedure in accordance with precedent. Further, you must endeavor to secure Mr. and Mrs. Brown as witnesses, as their evidence is absolutely necessary. The fact of the matter is that you have failed to bear in mind the really essential features in connection with the case, and have chiefly borne in mind one or two quite subsidiary points side by side. With this, you have unfortunately displayed a more or less vindictive spirit, which in our opinion can only be prejudicial to the success of your claim. All parts of the world are becoming, in fact, more and more well known, so that we shall soon regard it as a matter of course that blanks on our maps will grow less and less till in a short space of time they will disappear altogether. Some may exclaim, do you mean to say that at the present time we may, as a matter of fact, look to the time when discoveries will no longer add to our knowledge of the geography of the world in which from first to last we have been so much interested? We shall be glad to hear when such may be looked for. In reply, attention may be called to the facts of the case, and by way of illustration, Africa may be pointed to. For many years past, explorers have plunged deeper and deeper into the hidden recesses of the African continent, and whether right or wrong, they subjected the savage inhabitants in a more or less complete fashion. Africa was then divided among the European powers, and exploration was carried out to a great extent in the last years of the 19th century, so that we are able to make a very complete map of the whole continent. Over and over again, we have complained of the rates and taxes in connection with our concern, and sooner or later we shall have to discuss ways and means of a successful agitation for their reduction. Up to the present time, we have been very heavily handicapped in this respect, and judging from the present outlook, our resources will be called upon more and more in the immediate future unless we are enabled to obtain the relief we think we are entitled to. Again and again, during the last 6 or 7 years, there have been outcries against the upward tendency of these local levies, and in connection with their collection, many have urged that the facts of the case required the immediate attention of the authorities. The history of the world shows that this matter of rates and taxes has always been a sore point with people of every clime and nation, and whether right or wrong, it is a fact that a great many have suffered imprisonment rather than pay what they have deemed unjust impositions. When we ask what is the matter complained of and into inquire into it, it must be borne in mind that it is not worse than what savage tribes practiced among themselves or towards one another, though by the way we do not for a moment defend wanton barbarity on the part of civilized men towards savages who for the first time come under his control. Unhappily, this is always more or less an incident of the contact of civilized and savage men. If we cannot see all the way to a better state of things, we may at least anticipate some of the advantages which civilization should in the end be able to bestow on the one hand on the native population and on the other hand or on the other side on itself. In the first place or in the first instance, exploration affords a healthy subject of interest for the more adventurous spirits of all nations and adds additional chapters of interest to the story of the world. In the second place, new markets are opened for commerce and new fields for the exercise of ability. In the third place, regions are opened up which may be of much value as an outlet for the overgrown population of other regions. In the next place or in the last place, colonization is a hopeful part of that onward march of humanity in which all have the deepest interest. वेबसाइट पे इसको लगा दिया गया है, पहले इसको अच्छे से पढ़ें और उसके बाद इसको टाइप कर दें। आरपीसी क्लास नंबर 87 पे वहाँ जाके इसको टाइप करना है। इस क्लास में इतना ही, नमस्कार।